My name is Acacia Sears, and I'm a singer-songwriter from Baltimore, Maryland. After a long hiatus of writing, I finally have the energy again to write my songs and create art, and this is what I have created in the last year and 10 years before that when I was suffering from depression. My daughter was born in November of 2012, and my whole world revolved around her, which is normal when you're a parent for the first time. And I tried really hard to breastfeed, but breastfeeding did not work out for me. And I tried really hard for 4 months. And at the end of that, I was exhausted and sore, and I was still not making the milk that I needed to make for my baby to grow. So I gave up. And when I gave up, all of those hormones that make you feel love and connection to the world went away. And I was left empty and selfless, and I had no sense of myself anymore. I suffered very strongly from postpartum depression, and I think that's something that we don't really talk about very much in society, about what happens to somebody's body and their mind after they go through something like that. My husband at the time was working 7 days a week between his day job and his dream job, and I was working part-time and making music on the side, and on the side is where I met someone else, and that relationship eventually led to an affair that was terrible, and I'm not proud of it. The songs that I wrote during that time are the first 3 on the album. It's Marks, Tiny Cameras, and Ghosts. I ended that affair very badly because there was no good way to end it, and because I was emotionally very entangled with 2 very conflicting parts of my life. The guy did not take it very well, and it ended very poorly, and I wrote a murder ballad about it. That's Burn the Bed. My husband and I tried to make it work for a long time after that, but it was never quite right. I continued to be depressed, and I moved into a tiny apartment that I could not afford for more than 6 months, and ended up moving back in with my dad in my 30s in 2016, and I stayed in that state for several years.
What changed?
I got a new job. And I started to have energy again after work, and I could think about my past and process everything and turn it into this great body of work, this artwork that I have finished. This album is about divorce and grief and estrangement and coming back to life again in my 40s now and wondering what the rest of that life is going to look like.